All right. It's great that we have Dr. Christy Chang, the associate professor from National Taipei University of Technology, to tell us a little bit about cybercrime situation in Taiwan. So, Dr. Chang, could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, Lennon. Good to see you. And hello, everyone. My name is Chiang. So I currently working at the IT Graduate Institute of the National Taipei University of Technology in Taiwan. And my research mainly focused on the impact of digital technology on the IT roles. And also sometimes I touch on the tech policies regarding the internet technology applications. So it is a great opportunity for me to be able to talk about the development of cybercrime in Taiwan.
Well, thanks, Christy. Christy has been one of the leading academic in Taiwan on cyber regulation, cyber law, and also intellectual properties. So you're definitely one of the most suitable person to talk about this topic, about the situation in Taiwan. Could you sort of tell the audience today that what are the key cybercrime problems in Taiwan? What do you think might be special based on Taiwan's situation?
Okay, thanks, Lennon. Actually, now I've got the report produced by Taiwan Police Bureau, and it says about the cybercrime, the major cybercrime of 2020 in Taiwan, which will be the internet frauds or internet scams. And the second category is online slander or online libel cases. And the third category is computer misuse cases. And the fourth category is IP theft. So these are the four major categories of cybercrime in Taiwan at the moment. And we can see the internet frauds or internet scams. The cases in the number of the cases in the past 5 years is declining from about 33% to 28%. However, compared to that, the online slander or online libel cases, the number of these cases is increasing from 14% to 24% in the past 5 years. So we see the different trends here. And the category of the Computer Misuse Act cases and the IP theft cases, the percentage of the cybercrimes are about the same in the past 5 years.
Actually, pretty interesting. I know, like in Taiwan has always been seen as one of the key origin, the key country region that where online frauds comes from, and we see a lot of countries are actually learning from Taiwan in how we do things to combat cybercrime, especially on online fraud. And since Taiwan, we mentioned that we already got a good police statistics on different type of cybercrime. Could you also tell us a little bit about current regulations and laws that's been applied in Taiwan in combating different type of cybercrime?
Okay, actually, I also want to mention about in the past 5 years, the number of the cybercrime cases are about the same. On average, they are about like 1,300 to 1,400 cases. But the case resolved rate has been increasing from 70% to almost 90% in the past 5 years. So I think that's an indicator that maybe the police or the other department, they have put a lot of efforts into solving cyber crimes. And also you mentioned about the regulations in Taiwan. If we talk about the regulations in regarding to the four major categories of the cyber crimes I just mentioned in Taiwan, like online frauds or the online slander or the online libel cases, I think there are already traditional criminal act or the civil act to deal with those cases. But with regard to the Computer Misuse Act, we have got the chapter 36 in the criminal code. It's similar to the Computer Misuse Act. The whole chapter is about the computer misuse behaviors and their criminal responsibilities, and also about the IP theft, the last major category of the cybercrimes in Taiwan. I think the Copyright Act is the most significant piece of law about this category, because in the Copyright Act, there is a chapter specifically talking about the liabilities of the internet service providers. And nowadays, we know also the IP thefts, they are nothing new, but the IP thefts online, they have a lot of things to do with the internet service providers. And I think I would also like to mention about the Personal Data Protection Act. Although personal data breach is still not accounted for the major categories of the cybercrimes in Taiwan, I think data breach issues or the cybersecurity issues have becoming more and more prominent in the cyber law research area. And Taiwan introduced the Personal Data Protection Act about 10 years ago. I think it's about in 2010 or maybe 1 or 2 years later. But this piece of law, although is dealing with the data breach, but it is not specifically about the online data breach. So both online and offline data breach will be under the scope of this piece of law. And also, I would like to mention about one issues about the cybercrimes in Taiwan, which is getting more and more attention from the public. That is the online disinformation spread, especially maybe from the foreign power. And 2 years ago, there's a proposal of Digital Communication Act that proposed by the legislative yuan, but it failed to pass in the Congress. And the main concept of this Digital Communication Act is to request the digital platforms, these internet intermediaries, to take bigger responsibilities in terms of content moderation policies or to harness the online disinformation. So I think basically these are the recent development of the regulations in Taiwan regarding cybercrimes.
Oh, indeed. The Chapter 36 of criminal law in Taiwan is pretty much aligned with the Council of Europe Convention on Cybercrime. We know it was passed in early 2000s, and since then, Taiwanese government has also do some amendment on criminal procedure laws and different laws in order to catch up with some new type of cybercrime. And it's good that you also mentioned about about the Disinformation Act. I know according to some non-government agencies report, they have ranked Taiwan as one of the leading countries that in terms of the capacity in fighting against disinformation. But like what you say, whether the ISPs online platforms should take up the responsibility, and what are the responsibility that online platform need to take up is definitely an issue that we need to put more resources and emphasis in to get a better idea and to draw a better line.
Yeah. Actually, while you say, while you talk about the responsibilities of the internet platforms, it just across in my mind that it just came across in my mind that you have the Digital Platform and the Media Content Negotiation Act just passed in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is also a hard issue, a hard debate in Taiwan at the moment.
So you're more talking about whether the social media need to pay newspapers.
Yeah, the media content for showing the content.
Yeah.
Especially these big tech giants. I think it's actually a big step towards changing the business model of today's digital world.
Exactly. I'm not that much into that, but we do see that, at least through the regulation, some discussion has been undergo this kind of some negotiation has been initiated between the government and online platforms, as well as the news media, to find a good solution. Well, so this links well to our third question. Based on your understanding, and you've been back to Taiwan for more than 10 years, I think. What do you think? Not yet, almost. What do you see the cybercrime research environment in Taiwan, and what do you see? What kind of research is needed in Taiwan? And maybe if you can, if people are interested in doing research in Taiwan cybercrime, what might be your suggestions?
Okay, so I think first of all, I need to clarify that not 10 years yet, okay? And secondly, I think cybercrime research or cyber law research is by nature an interdisciplinary topic. So it would take legal scholars and technology experts, or even scholars from other disciplines, to work together. And I think the important part is to understand the nature of the internet and the characteristics of these internet deviances. It seems easy to propose more stringent legislations or more harsh punishment just to harness these internet cybercrimes. But in fact, in reality, they may be of little help to solve the problems on the internet, or even cause a negative effect. So I think more research is definitely needed. And I think people should explore more about the evolution of the digital space, not only about the nature of the internet, or maybe about like the changing the business models or the changing environment of the whole digital world, and be more open-minded to fresh perspectives. So in sum, instead of trying to fit the cyber crimes or the cyber laws into the old battles of the traditional legal frameworks, it may be better to explore what's new about the internet and come up with new solutions that really fit in the characteristics of the internet. So welcome to more scholars join the cyber crimes or cyber law academic groups in Taiwan. Definitely needs more international collaboration in this area.
Well, indeed, for when we talk about cybercrime or cyber regulations, we do see the need for interdisciplinary collaborations, and the laws and regulations are never be enough, especially when we see the technology evolving every day. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Christy, for a briefing great outline about cybercrime in Taiwan. And I believe there might be some questions from the audience, from the students, when we broadcast this video, and I'll pass those questions to you if that's okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thanks for having me, and look forward to the further discussions on this topic.
Thank you very much.